You come home from work, you put your bag down, you lay in bed, you turn on the thing that you want to watch so desperately and probably have been waiting to watch so desperately since the beginning of your work shift, and you turn your brain off. And yet, there is this ping, this beating of a drum, this pressure that may build that keeps you wondering, maybe I should be working on that thing, that book thing, that film thing, that script thing, that screenplay thing, that art thing, that drawing thing, that painting thing, that thing that you need to make. And yet you put it off, and you put it off, and you put it off, and you put it off because you work a full-time job. Me too. Now, I'm working on this too. I'm fumbling through it, and I do feel at where I am right now, from what I've accomplished so far, I can give you some sort of insight into how to work a full-time job while being an artist. And listen, I'm not going to sell you a routine. I'm not going to sell you a perfect thing, a piece of paper that tells you what to do this step by step by step. I can't do that for you, but I can offer some thoughts into this, or rather than thoughts, observations. Here's the problem, and let me paint the picture. You're human. You are a fallible creature, someone who has a body, a mind, a spirit, all that has energy, and you get tired sometimes. That's a huge, huge issue, especially when you are looking at some of the creators online who are telling you that you are capable of everything and anything that you possibly can imagine, as long as you just believe. Yes, okay, don't get me wrong. Yes. However, you are also human. And so we have to look into this as a human being. We have to find our rest time, and we have to find our times that we are creative, times when we have energy as well. If you work 40 hours in a week, whether that's 5 days or that's 4 long days of work, when you come home, you're going to be tired. And it's not about being a machine or being a mechanization of yourself. You are trying to be human. And the best thing that we want as artists is to be human. What we're actively fighting for right now is humanity. And with the job that you have, the thing that you're working on, the thing that you are working within, you have to look at it as, what is this providing you? What is it actually giving you? Because for me, it's giving me foundation. It's giving me sustainability. It's giving me a budget that I can actually utilize for my art. And that foundation that you're building on is not betrayal. It's genuinely intelligent, and it's also care for your artistic self, because you are providing for that artist. Now, this also reminds me of a book. I think I have it. Yeah, right here. The Slow Productivity by Cal Newport. And basically what this book is about is that the things that we care about, we don't have to do it fast. We can actually slow way down so that we can work on something and build quality for something. Because the things that we're doing that matter are not meant to be done fast. We do become entranced in this work. We do become enthralled with this work, and it takes time. I mean, personally, I never thought that 1,000 words per day would get me anywhere until, I wake up this morning, I write my 1,000 words, and I'm looking at it and I go, wow, I'm at 31,000 words. Like, I wouldn't be able to be there if I didn't at least start somewhere, and start small. Now, these words are not perfect. They're not clean, they're not pretty, and nor do I think that they should be, especially right now, as they are. They are perfectly imperfect. They are so messy. But that's how your art should be, especially right now. You can clean it up later, and you can work toward perfection as you wish, But for right now, what we're working on is making sure that we're actually creating the work. And what's funny to me is that as I was working on these 1,000 words, I can get these words done in 30 to 45 minutes most of the time. Sometimes I'll sit and I'll just wonder, what the heck am I writing? And that might take me then an hour, but usually it doesn't take much more than an hour for me. And so we can find that small amount of time to honor our art and to honor our artistic self, especially as we're working these jobs here. Okay, so listen, instead of thinking about the dream of having more time to work on your art, start living presently and understanding that where you are right now, you do have time. You absolutely have time to honor your art. Okay, so let's talk practically in terms of what I am working on, in terms of how I am being an artist within my full-time job. Let's just kind of nail down the calendar. Okay, so my week starts on Sunday, and then I start work at 1 p.m. every single day, and I go all the way till 11 o'clock p.m. So I work a 10-hour shift. That's giving me 4 days of work. So I have Sunday, I have Monday, I have Tuesday, and then I have off on Wednesday. That's an important day. And then I have Thursday on, and then I have Friday and Saturday off, once again. And then it repeats. Now, once again, I don't have a magic system, and I'm muddling through as well, finding what works for me. But what has worked for me is this, is that once I start my work week, on the weekdays is when all of the work kind of happens. I still keep my weekends, that Saturday and that Sunday, as kind of honorable mentions to what rest should be. And we're working on that. But Monday through Friday, I am always writing. At the very least, I'm getting 5 days in every single week to write 1,000 words. Now, how I start my morning is I will wake up, I will go get coffee, I will get electrolytes, and I will prepare to write my morning pages. I'll write my morning pages for 16 minutes, which is then to warm me up and get me ready for the next part, which is then I'm going to stand up and get some physical movement through a Chekhov technique that I can absolutely describe for you later, but not at this point. So a quick physical warm-up, I cross an artistic threshold, meaning I enter into a space of artistry, non-judgment, and I allow myself the space to play. And then I start writing my 1,000 words for the day. Once I finish doing that, then I'm going to get ready for work. I'm going to shower, get ready, make sure all my clothes are laid out nice and neat and ready to go. And then I'm going to eat. I'm going to drink protein and creatine, and then I'm going to head off to work. Now, I try to go early so that I can then take a nap in the parking lot. Yes, I will take a nap in the parking lot. And then I work from 1 to 11. I get home, and when I get home, I try to get in bed as fast as I possibly can because I'm going to have to wake up and try to do it all again. So those are the days that I'm working. The days that I'm not working, I have 3 days. And so I really try to expand on my art as much as possible on those 3 days. Really 2 days, because 2 days are for myself. 1 day is kind of you rest, you bring in someone else, and you spend time with them, but also definitely trying to nourish your own body, nourish your mind, and rest. But most importantly is my Wednesdays. Wednesdays are kind of getting everything ready for Friday and Saturday. Wednesday is the writing a little bit more of my book. Maybe I'm writing 100, 200, 300, 500 extra words, but I will try to go a little bit further into my stories, a little bit more in depth. I might take a little bit more time. And then I'm going to also work on planning these videos, getting these videos up as much as possible, refining the script, getting a rough draft going, especially for my newsletter, and kind of prepping myself as I go into the week. Then I have therapy on at 2. That is also kind of important to really dig into what it is that I'm working on, my mental landscape, and how I am able to continue working on these videos as well. And also just my art in general, or just living and existing as a human individual. Because of course, like I said, we are constantly fighting for our humanity here. So I'm going to fight for it. Then working out, of course, I'm going to make sure that my physical body is at the best it could possibly be so that I can continue, well, sitting at a desk job for a very long time. Sitting at a desk job for 10 hours for 4 days, I will say, hurts the body. I have to move the body. Friday is for, once again, the book, working on that singular project. And then it's going to be working on these videos, editing them, putting them together, posting them up, and hopefully rest. Now that's a wonderful question. The question, for those in the back, am I good at rest? Let me think on that for a little bit. No, I'm not good at resting. I'm working on it. I think it's really, my rest usually pertains to being outside. I'm not going to give this much of an excuse. I shouldn't make this as my excuse, but it's cold outside. It's very cold, and I'm not usually outside in the winter. And of course, I love long walks, which tend to be my form of Zen or meditation, getting my mind straight, or even kind of getting an idea of what the next thing is that I'll be doing, but in a more nourishing way. Because right now I'm just kind of on the computer and I'm just which is a consistent for me. But I mean, I'm working on it, and the goal is always for Friday nights or Saturday, the entirety of Saturday if possible, to genuinely be a day of rest. Because I have to do it all again and 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 again. So I have to sustain. And I do feel that rest will be a growing part of my routine and something that I will continue to speak on. Now, what I want you to do with the schedule that I've been able to lay out for you is to take your schedule, which is probably going to be completely different than mine, and I want you to find what works best for you. That's going to be how you're going to create. And the best thing that you can do is you start small. Because if you start small, then that can start to compound. I did not start writing 1,000 words every single day. I started writing 1,000 words here, 1,000 words there, and I started writing 1,000 words during my days off, as opposed to on my days on. It took me a while to be able to allow myself to write 1,000 words before I even went to work. But I had to learn that writing 1,000 words was not going to cause me harm enough to impact my full-time job or my performance at my full-time job. It takes time. So please take your schedule, what capacity that you have, and I want you to get it to the smallest decimal possible, and then shoot for that, and then shoot for that, and then shoot for that, and shoot for that, shoot for that, and eventually it'll compound. Now, the way to really look into this, the way to wrap your head around this, is to slow it down. Slow down. You are going to see so many forms of people doing amazing things. There's compilations on it on YouTube. People doing interesting things. Video 1, video 2, video 3. They're going to make incredible works of art, but have been training for so many years. You have to understand that the only way that you're going to get to where you want to go is by starting. The last thing that I really want to talk about is to make sure that you're taking care of your body. Like I said, those 10-hour shifts or 8-hour shifts for whatever job that you're doing, They may be working at a desk job, or, if you have a standing desk, that's great, use it. But it may be repetitive motions. Make sure that you are actively making your body move in different and more diverse ways. Because as artists, we are going to utilize our body. We're going to utilize our body to make the work that we want to make. And so we have to take care of it, because our bodies are the tools in which we utilize expressing ourselves. So keep taking care of it. Go to the gym, go for a walk, find something small that you might be able to do. Move around the kitchen if you wish, or sweep the floor. I don't know. I don't really like those forms of movement personally, but if you like those forms of movement, that's perfectly fine. You should do those things. I love taking walks. Walks are amazing. And the things that a walk can teach you as well, just the analogous ways that it can shape your mind, especially for all of this, which is, again, slowing down. Taking a walk helps to support that claim as well. Every single step is still one more step toward a destination or a goal. Or not only that, but what you'll really learn when you're walking is that it's not about the destination whatsoever. It's always about the journey. So when you are working out, when you are walking, when you are moving your body, you will understand that the process of doing so is going to teach you so much more than just sitting down and theorizing about everything that you have within your life to work and put into art. So continue moving, continue developing, and continue working on the body. Your body is just as much the instrument as is your mind, as is your voice, as is everything that you have internally. Utilize the body so that you can also then, with great vibration, give off your art. Now, if I was going to condense this all into maybe a sentence or two, then it would probably be: 1, start with your constraints. Build around your actual life. It's your life, it's no one else's, and you're going to have to try to develop within it. 2, adopt slow productivity. Because small things, small actions can compound over time. People overestimate what they can do in a week, and they also underestimate what they can do in 10 years. You are capable of doing something fantastic, amazing within those 10 years. And not only that, but you're also doing something fantastic now. Don't let yourself lose that sight of understanding that what you're doing right now is also phenomenal. It's good work. Everything is good work, especially when it's one step. Remember that, and that can sustain for a little bit longer. 3 is use containers. Contain 2 to 3 days as being your work days. Those are sacred days for your art. Keep them. This video is for the artists that are not making money on their art. This video is for people who are in debt and who are actively working on getting out of debt. This video is for people who are artists, through and through, without a fucking doubt. This is what this is. I love my artists so much. If you want the expanded version of this video, subscribe to my newsletter, Craft and Spirit. That's where I'm going to be writing more deeper reflections into this work, and not only that, but I'm going to be providing a little bit more personal details of what it is that I'm working on, how I think things through, and you'll just get to see a little bit more of my mind in there. It's a little bit more freeform. Now, one question I would love to hear from you is, what is the hardest part right now in terms of having a full-time job? I really want to hear from you because I'm curious more about more artists who are actively working on trying to create with something like this, especially with the constraints that they have. Now, leave a comment, like, subscribe. I would love to hear from you because, of course, I'm building this channel alongside you. I am excited to continue posting these videos. So if there's something that you do want to see, please let me know. Give it a comment and I'll give a response. Otherwise, much love today and every day.